Alright, let's just be real for a second. I mean really real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not here to be polite or politically correct. Andrew Berry, he ain't good at drafting. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it until I'm proven wrong. The man cannot draft, and it's not just him. This whole front office hasn't been great at developing players either. Let's call a spade a spade. We've seen too much to act like everything's fine. And you know what really gets me? This idea that everybody's job is supposedly safe. Says who? Who's making that call? Because last I checked, this is the NFL. Jobs aren't just handed out. You earn them. And I remember talking about this on Wednesday. Said I was calling BS on that idea. You can't tell me everyone's safe when you've got this kind of quarterback mess on your hands. So, please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button. Like the video and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Now let me walk y'all through this madness. Picture this: you're heading into the season with Joe Flacco as your starter. Joe Flacco, I mean. Come on, man. You owe it to the fans and to the vets on this roster to try and win now. But why are we just assuming Flacco has to be the guy? Who's to say it can't be Shedeur Sanders? Or even Dylan Gabriel, if it comes down to it. And here's the part that really fired me up. We just got some absolutely wild footage of Shedeur Sanders working out down in Miami. And let me tell you right now, this dude looks like a straight-up first-rounder. He's out there looking like he belongs already. Meanwhile, Andrew Berry takes Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. Gabriel wasn't even on most people's top 10 quarterback lists. I'm talking about a guy who barely showed up on the radar, while Shedeur, a 5th-round pick, is out here making waves now. You tell me, how did Berry let Shedeur fall to the 5th round? That's not strategy. That's negligence. This kid was ranked as high as no. 1 on some boards. I've seen him in the 30s on 150 player rankings, but never outside that top group. And yet, here we are. I've been watching that Miami workout. Footage on repeat. Shedeur's throwing motion. Clean. His accuracy. On point. His footwork, his hips, his mechanics all refined since the draft process began. He's been putting in the work, and it shows. People knock his arm strength. Say it's not elite. Okay, sure, it's not Mahomes or Cam Ward level. But you know what? It's more than enough. He's got the quick release. He's got the accuracy. And that, to me, is what really matters. And it's not just me hyping this dude. Former NFL coach Herman Edwards, who literally watched Shedeur grow up, just went on record saying he believes Shedeur is going to win the job in Cleveland. That's not some hot take from a random analyst. That's a football guy who knows the Sanders family personally. He didn't hesitate. He flat out said, "I think he's going to win the job." That should tell you everything you need to know. Let's rewind a bit. Cleveland drafts Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd, Shedeur in the 5th. And we all know Shedeur fell in the draft, not because of talent, but because of the Dion factor. That primetime personality. The bravado. The media circus. But honestly, that's not a reason to let a dude with this kind of potential slide. And if that's the reason Berry passed on him earlier, then shame on him. Because that right there tells me he wasn't ready to handle a player with a brand. You've got to be able to manage personalities. That's part of the job in today's NFL. You don't pass on elite level talent because of media pressure. You adapt. The crazy part is, Gabriel wasn't even in the conversation during the pre-draft process. Nobody had him in their top 10 quarterback rankings. I never saw him listed in a single top 100 or even top 150 list. Meanwhile, Shedeur was everywhere, depending on who you asked. Mel Kiper, for example, he had Shedeur in the top 5, maybe even number 1 overall. And yet, we're acting like this is just a happy accident. Come on, man. If you ask me, Andrew Berry got lucky. This wasn't some master plan. It just happened to fall in his lap because the rest of the league made the same mistake. But this time, it worked out for Cleveland. And here's what's crazy. Shedeur's already winning the fans over. I'm talking plus 700 odds to start week 1. That's tied for 3rd best. The hype is real. And more importantly, he's connecting with the city. He's out at high schools. He's at community events. He's not just saying the right things, he's doing them. That matters in a place like Cleveland. But here's the controversial part. And I want you to sound off in the comments if you think I'm off base. If the Browns are truly targeting the 2026 QB class like everyone says they are, then why are we not investing in the rookies we just drafted? If that's the case, why is Joe Flacco still in this conversation? Why is Kenny Pickett? Look, I don't want to see Flacco out there taking up reps. The man's 40. We know what he is. I don't want to see Pickett either. Pittsburgh had their shot with him. He didn't work out. He went to Philly and didn't sniff the field. Then we trade for him and immediately draft 2 quarterbacks. That tells me even the front office doesn't believe in him. So if it's me, I want to see a head-to-head battle in the preseason. Dillon Gabriel versus Shedeur Sanders. Nobody else. Let them fight for it. Let them go through the fire. Pick a winner and roll with him. Don't do this flip-flop quarterback carousel. You want to ruin a young QB. That's how you do it. Start him, bench him, start him again, bench him again. Nah, let the best man win and let him ride out the season. And I honestly believe Shedeur can be that guy. From everything I've seen, his confidence, his football IQ, his swagger, he's got it. I'm not just saying that to hype him up. I really believe this kid has the tools to make the Browns rethink their whole 2026 plan. And think about this. If Shedeur is the guy that changes everything, now you've got your rookie quarterback. You've got 2 first-round picks next year to build around him. Young running backs. An exciting roster. That's how you build momentum. That's how you attract free agents. That's how you create a winning culture. But we still gotta talk about Andrew Berry. Because again, this isn't me trying to be a hater. It's just the truth. He hasn't been good at drafting, and the development hasn't been there either. When you trade for Kenny Pickett and then immediately draft 2 quarterbacks, that's not a strategy. That's panic. Don't tell me you believe in Pickett and then show me you don't at the end of the day. It looks more like Berry lucked into this than anything else. Shedeur falling to the 5th round. That's not some calculated move. That's the league sleeping, and Berry just happened to be the guy who benefited. Let's not crown him for that. So what do y'all think? Are we being too harsh? Or does this draft really expose something about how this front office operates? All I know is this Shedeur's got the tools, but now he needs the reps. I want to see him out there with the first and second team. I want to see what he can do when the pressure's on. Because if Herman Edwards is right and Shedeur Sanders wins this job, a whole lot of people are going to look real foolish for passing him up. He's got the talent. He's got the work ethic. He's got the city behind him. And he's got that chip on his shoulder. And I love it. He's out here saying, to hell with 2026. To hell with Arch Manning. I'm here, right now, and I'm ready. That's the attitude I want from my quarterback. That's the fire I want to see in camp. I've known about Shedeur since he was a kid. I've followed the Dion story for years. I understand the whole primetime aura, the energy, the spotlight that comes with being a Sanders. I get it. I know how that turns some people off. Know how certain NFL front offices are going to look at a player like Shedeur and go, oh, we don't want all that attention, all that noise. But that's not Shedeur's fault. That's fear. That's teams being scared of the spotlight instead of chasing talent. And you know what that fear does? It makes people make mistakes. Big ones. Because Shedeur Sanders should not have been a 5th-round pick. That's insane. That's insane. We're talking about a quarterback with top-tier accuracy, a great feel for the pocket, natural leadership, high football IQ, and elite pedigree. And yet 31 teams let him slide all the way to the 5th round. That's not just a mistake, that's straight-up malpractice. So please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Now here's where things really get wild. Former NFL coach Herm Edwards, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's seen elite quarterback talent up close. He went on the Coach JB show and said it loud and clear, not whispered, not hedged. He said flat out, Shedeur Sanders is going to win the starting job in Cleveland. He didn't say he's got a shot. He didn't say he might push for it. He said he's going to win it. That's bold. That's a statement. And I'm sitting there listening to this like, yes, finally, somebody said it. Because I've been thinking the same exact thing. Let me tell you why I believe it so strongly. Just the other day, I saw this new workout video drop Shedeur out there in Miami, going through drills, and folks, this guy looks locked in. I mean, everything from his throwing motion to his pocket footwork to the timing on his routes sits all there. It's all polished. You can tell he's not just casually throwing. He's training like he's got a point to prove. Every rep has purpose. Every movement is intentional. His arm looks strong, but not just strong, efficient. He's not forcing anything, he's hitting his marks. Reading quick and getting that ball out clean. That's what you want in a modern NFL quarterback. Quick decisions, sharp mechanics, total confidence. And it's all right there on tape. You don't even need to squint to see it. Now let's zoom out for a second. Cleveland drafted 2 quarterbacks this year. Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round, Shedeur Sanders in the 5th. And I'm going to be honest with you, this right here. This is where it gets controversial, but I don't care. I'm going to say it. Dillon Gabriel wasn't on anybody's top 210 list of quarterbacks. Let's just keep it real. Nobody had him projected as a high-round pick. He wasn't showing up on major analysts' boards. Nobody on TV was talking about Dillon Gabriel like he was a franchise savior. But Shedeur, even with all the noise, even with all the questions, there were people out there saying he had first-round talent. Some even said first overall pick potential. At worst, Shedeur was a top 50 prospect. So how did the less talented quarterback get picked 2 rounds earlier? It's wild, it makes no sense. Unless you factor in what Herm Edwards talked about, that Deion factor, that hesitation, that unwillingness to bring in someone who comes with a media narrative, even when the tape screams talent. And look, I'm not trying to slam the Browns front office, but Andrew Berry hasn't exactly been batting 1.000 when it comes to drafting quarterbacks or developing them. I mean, let's look at the room right now. You've got Joe Flacco, who's 40 years old. Respect to Joe, he's had a long career, but we know what he is. He's not the future. He's a bridge, a stopgap, a locker room voice. Then there's Kenny Pickett. Pittsburgh gave him the keys, and he couldn't make it work. He got shipped off to Philly, didn't even unpack, and then ended up in Cleveland. And then what do the Browns do? They draft 2 quarterbacks right after bringing him in. That tells me one thing. They don't believe in their own room. And here's the thing. They don't have time to play it safe. You don't draft 2 quarterbacks unless you're looking for something now, and you don't accidentally stumble